Hi class, today is Monday, August 25th, and this will serve as our lecture because I am serving jury duty today. So today's lecture is actually going to cover the last objective in this chapter, Objective 4. It is extremely short and extremely small, and it's just going to describe the uses of managerial accounting information. All of those things that we've kind of talked about and introduced to you in this chapter, we're going to kind of talk about how they are used. Okay, so it says, as mentioned earlier, managerial accounting provides information and reports for managers to use in operating a business. Some examples of how managerial accounting could be used by Legend Guitars include some of the following. Management in Legend Guitars can use the cost of manufacturing each guitar to help determine the selling price. This is one of the very big and most basic uses of managerial accounting. If we do not know our product cost and then of course also our period cost, then we have no way to know what to sell our product for, so that way we can make sure and ensure that we are earning a profit. Another thing, we can compare the cost of guitars over time. And we can use this to monitor and control the cost of direct materials, direct labor, and factory overhead. So we can continue to make sure that we're keeping our costs consistent, at least to the best of our ability. Sometimes the price of materials may go up and they may go down, but we want to try to make sure that within our control, we are keeping our costs consistent. So if it normally takes 30 minutes to cut out a guitar, we want to make sure that we keep it at 30 minutes. Okay, we don't want to make sure that it doesn't creep up to 45 minutes or, an hour to cut out one guitar, because the longer it takes, of course, the more it costs. The next one they talk about is performance reports. It could be used to identify any large amounts of scrap or employee downtime. So we can figure out if our saw keeps breaking. And why is it breaking? Maybe we need to change our blade more often, and if we change a 50-cent blade more often, then we won't have this huge downtime because the wood keeps getting jammed in it. Once the wood gets jammed in it, we have to get maintenance over to fix it, and the employees are out taking a smoke break, and all of this is costing us money. Instead of just replacing the 50-cent saw blade much more often, we won't run into these problems. Okay. We could also identify scrap material. Maybe we find out that our vendor is starting to send us inferior materials. It's more warped, it has more knots in it. We can't use that type of wood. We have to cut around the knots. So it's causing a lot more scrap material. So all of these reports can be used to identify these items. Another example they give is a report could analyze the potential efficiencies and dollar savings of purchasing a new computerized saw to speed up the production process. So we can use it to help us in future operations as well, not just past or not just day to day. And finally, the other one that they give, which there's more than the items that they give, they're just giving you a small sampling. It says a report can analyze how many units need to be sold to cover operating costs and expenses. So we could have a target that we say to our sales team, we need to sell X amount. And once we know we hit that X amount, we know that we are now in a profit situation. If we hit anything less than that, then we know that we are actually going to lose money. Okay, so we can use this as kind of a barometer to see how we're doing throughout the year. Okay, so managerial accounting information can be used for a variety of purposes, not just the ones that are listed here. And in the remaining chapters, we are going to talk about each one of these kind of things in depth. Okay, so that covers chapter 16. Right? The biggest thing out of chapter 16 is understanding the terms. There's lots of terms. They're all listed on page 771. If I were you in starting to study for this chapter, I would look at the at a glance on page 770 and 771 and go one objective at a time and make sure that you understand those. They also give you practice exercises to work to help reinforce that objective. So this is a very good place to start in studying. I would also look at the Study Tools tab in Cengage. Okay, another very good place. For all these key terms in Cengage, they have electronic flashcards that you can use to help quiz yourself on the terms. Okay, and then you can do crossword puzzles to help quiz yourself as well. All right, so Tuesday, tomorrow, I still don't know what's going to happen with class. I'll let you know as soon as I do, okay? I'll send out an email, put an announcement, and I'll also post it on my Twitter and my Facebook if you're following those, okay? But be prepared to hand in case 2 no matter what happens. You either need to hand it under my door, my office, Spruce 227, okay? Or we'll hand it in class if I happen to hopefully make it there, okay? So case 2 is got to be typed and it has to be handed in on Tuesday. All right. If I'm not in class on Tuesday, I will do the test review just like this with a video. Okay. Talk to everybody soon.